Welcome everybody to the New Fly Fisher. I'm your host, Colin McEwen. It's a beautiful summer day. Conditions are perfect. I'm gonna go out here and have a great day of fishing. And that's what today's show is about, affordable and accessible fishing trips. We're gonna be fly fishing for 3 species. We're gonna be talking about places you can go that are easy to get to and very affordable. It's gonna be a great show. I know you're gonna love it. Stay with us. Let him go back to live another day.
And away he goes. Great fish. Wow.
Oh, baby. Look at that fish.
Stop, wiggle, on the way down.
The New Fly Fisher has been made possible thanks to the support of Peterborough and the Kawarthas Tourism, Ontario, yours to discover, Orvis Sporting Traditions, Islander Precision Reels, Scientific Anglers, Rail Riders Outdoor Clothing, Net Staff, the world's first wading staff and net.
For most anglers, pan fishing is done from a dock with a red and white bobber. This may be partly true, but there are many methods to take these fish, including fly fishing. Angling for plentiful sunfish, bluegill, crappie, rock bass, and other panfish offers dependable action for the whole family. Pan fishing has also matured to a level where pro anglers compete in tournaments to catch them on popular lakes. But for the most part, panfish remain a basic and underutilized resource. Delicious and plentiful, with year-round seasons and generous bag limits across most of the province, panfish offer an option to take a feed of fish home after your vacation is over, while still practicing catch and release for larger game fish.
Just working this. I know they like fallen trees. There we go. So this is good fun, catching bluegills. And I've actually received a lot of emails from our viewers. Oh, this is a rock bass. From our viewers asking us to do shows on fly fishing for panfish. He's cute, good fun. And what we're doing is gonna catch some panfish. We're gonna be fly fishing for carp. We're gonna be catching big bass and muskie. I mean, that's what I like about Rice Lake. It's got everything. And if you catch some of these bluegills, you can have a great feed. So Randy, can you explain to me, I know you got a lot of different species on this lake and you don't have some species which make this lake so great. What do you have here in Rice Lake?
Well, on Rice Lake here, we're blessed because we have no pike, which means we have an abundance of a lot of great panfish, bluegill, crappie, pumpkin seed, a lot of good-sized perch. We got a lot of big largemouth and big smallmouth, and a lot of big muskie.
Top spots to find panfish are shallow bays with cover, such as wood, weeds, and docks. In summer, they hold along deep weed lines or suspend farther out. They'll hit during the day, especially during overcast weather, but morning and evening are prime. Because they hold in the same water as predator fish, expect to catch other species in the area.
So I was just getting my line fed out. We just got here and put my fly over the side and looks like I've got myself a smallmouth. And as you can see, this is why I like catching smallmouth bass. This guy is really making this rod work. Come down here. All right, see if we get him in. Oh, looks like he got on the side there. That's just a little guy. and they have them to 7, 8 pounds here. I've caught them to 4. I know I'm trying to get a 5 or 6 pounder before I leave.
Rice Lake is easy to find. It's about 90 minutes east of Toronto or just 2 hours from the US border. The lake is over 18 miles long and over a mile wide. Access is from Highway 401, a major highway which runs from the US-Canada border at Detroit to the Ontario-Quebec border in the east. American visitors can easily reach Highway 401 via most border crossings. Panfish can be fun no matter what method of angling you choose to use. Randy is using a spinning outfit with a float and a worm. I'm using a fly rod. Because panfish are programmed to look up for their food, Randy has his bait suspended just above the weeds. I have my fly weight free and I'm retrieving it just over the weeds.
Now, this is what I like about panfish. First of all, they're a lot of fun on a fly rod. You can catch scads of them. And Randy here can tell you when you come to Sunshine Resort where to go. But you catch these fish, you can keep a bunch to eat, and it's not a big deal because they're so prolific in this lake. That's just a little guy. They have very big ones in here. But they're easy to catch, just using a small fly like this. 4-weight, 5-weight rod. And it's great because, especially for new anglers, they can catch a lot of fish easily. And then once you have some fun with the panfish, you go throw poppers, catch big bass. They've got big largemouth, big smallmouth in here. And then if you really want to have some excitement, either go for the big muskie or go for the big carp. Now, I keep getting rock bass, but I think that's because I'm up near the rocks. I'm getting more of the bluegills around the weeds. Good fun. I said small flies. Let me show you some of the flies I like to use when I'm fishing for bluegills, rock bass, any of these fish, crappie, etc. Got them right here in my fly box. So some of the flies that I want to use for bluegill, crappie, sunfish, things like that, they're pretty simple flies. They're the same ones I use for smallmouth bass or for carp and even for trout. And you can see I've got a selection of nymphs here, stone flies. Woolly buggers work really well, but you've got to make them small. The ones I've got over on this side are probably too big for them. They have very small mouths and very papery, and either they'll nip at it or I won't hook them properly. But these smaller flies here and here really work well. Go. Is that a pumpkin seed here?
That's what they all seem to be right here, yeah.
Ah, beautiful fish. A lot of fun to catch on a fly rod. So what I'm using to catch these fish is not what most people would think about in terms of fly rods. Usually, most people are using a strike indicator, a long leader, casting it out, 1 or 2 flies, just letting it sit, letting the waves bounce them up, and you'll catch lots of fish that way. I like using a intermediate tip, and this one's 12 feet, and then I go to a short leader, which is about 5-6 feet, and then to my fly. But this intermediate tip going to the floating line is great because I'll see the actual tip of the fly line move when the fish is striking, and this is a great line for use. You can use it with streamers, you can use it with carp. I like using it with smallmouth bass in the shallows with crayfish patterns. It's a real versatile line, and it sinks at 1.5 to 2 inches per second. So it's just perfect for that 3 feet, 6 feet depth. Stillwater anglers for trout use it a lot when they're trying to fish the top end of the water column or in near the shallows. And it's just a great fly line to add to your arsenal if you get a chance to pick one up.
Sunshine Cove Resort offers cozy and accommodating cottages for anglers and families looking for a convenient and affordable place to stay in Rice Lake. Located at the center of Rice Lake, less than 2 hours from the U.S. border, Sunshine Cove has access to some of the best fishing spots on the lake. Walleye, smallmouth bass, and largemouth bass are plentiful in Rice Lake. Most people come for the panfish, which are plentiful and virtually everywhere. You might even hook into one of Rice Lake's famous muskie. Cottages accommodate up to 6 people and have all of the necessities you want, including air conditioning and TV in some of the cottages. The resort provides a family and pet-friendly atmosphere, so everyone has a wonderful time. Other fun activities very close to the resort are wineries, golf courses, horseback riding, and hiking trails. One of the real treats you will have at the resort is a weekly fish fry. The panfish are delicious. People come from far and wide to sample this table fare. All this makes Sunshine Cove a perfect drive-to family vacation destination.
There we go. Keeping that rod tip down, just like when you're fly fishing for smallmouth bass or you're stillwater fishing for trout. As Phil Rowley and Brian Shan have taught me, you've got to keep that rod tip down, and even if it means poking it in the water, because then you're going to have a great transmission of the take from the fly to your rod tip, and you'll feel that fish taking it, as I did right there. That was a perfect example. Just hold them gently here. Well, I should just pop out. Beautiful fish. Look at the colors of that. And this is a great fish. Any of these panfish, bring kids out. They'll catch scads and they'll have fun, and then you can go in and do water sports and things like that. And that's why I like Rice Lake and places like this.
I had a fun afternoon fishing for panfish with Randy. It's now time to head back and plan the next day's fishing. I was going to head out in the morning by myself for more panfish and some big bass. Rice Lake is blessed with lots of fish holding water, so locating fish on my own should not be a problem.
So it's first thing in the morning. It's absolutely gorgeous out. I didn't get out quite early enough. The winds come up a bit, but you know something? Doesn't matter. It's perfect conditions. I'm going to first try using a popper for the smallmouth and the largemouth that are here in Rice Lake. There's a big flat coming out from this island. I'm going to try around the islands first that are here in the lake. And what I like about these flats, they're rocky. So you got smallmouth on them. At the same time, you've got weeds out here on the edges, so I can pick up largemouth bass as well. There we go. Got him that time. I'm not sure. Oh, look at the jump. I think this is a largemouth. Oh, look at that fight. Ugh. Now, usually I'd be using a 6-weight. I've got a 7-weight rod right now. Oh, it's a smallmouth, I think. The way he's fighting. Like, what a great way to start a day. Early in the morning. Sunny. I've had a cup of coffee, and now I'm out catching nice bass. Beautiful bass like this. And topwater flies. I can fish for both smallmouth like this. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Just go. Fish for smallmouth, and probably a little later, another hour or so, I'm gonna go into the heavy weed areas and throw big frog patterns for largemouth. And somewhere in there might be a muskie or two. This is the great thing about lakes like this that are really accessible. There's some good fishing. You just gotta put your thinking cap on, look for the structure, look for the points, look for the drop-offs, look for man-made structure. You'll find fish.
Rice Lake is located in the picturesque region of Peterborough and the Kawarthas. This is one of my favorite places in Ontario because there's so much to do besides fishing. Bring your spouse or family and you'll have no end of fun times. Throughout the seasons, there are festivals, concerts, water activities, shopping, and restaurants. From wonderful motorcycle trips on country roads to checking out small antique stores or enjoying a coffee, Peterborough and the Kawarthas region is an ideal getaway destination that is both accessible and very affordable. I strongly recommend you come visit in any season. I know my wife and I are visiting again soon. After a good meal and a nap, I joined Lodge co-owner and veteran angler Susan Irving for the evening fish. Rice Lake is famous for its muskie fishing. With the abundance of panfish in this system, these alpha predators grow huge, with some fish tipping the scales in the 30-pound range, although 10 to 15-pound muskie are more common. Cover lots of water along the shoreline, concentrating on structures such as overhanging tree branches, fallen trees, points, and man-made objects such as docks. Use large body flies in perch patterns in the 6 to 9 inch length for the best results.
Got him! Oh!
No.
Yep. Ah.
Oh. What have you got?
Little muskie. So I got a
Need the
little
wet?
muskie, but this was, and the interesting part is he's all scarred up.
Oh my
because
goodness.
he's been mating not that long ago, so he's probably got some scars. We had a big one on here earlier, but unfortunately I lost him. Good job, Susan.
There we go.
And we see,
Oh.
I'm just gonna turn him to one side. Look at the marks on him from spawning.
Oh my.
He's just healing right now.
Yeah.
It's a little male. So I'm gonna just quickly drop him over the side here, and there he goes. That gives him a little shot across the gills. Usually with a fish that's a lot bigger, I would be leaning over the side, letting him sit there for a second, let him work his gills, but that guy wasn't out that long. You know, this
high
is fun.
Five, baby. Slimy five.
Slimy five.
As it turns out, that was going to be my only muskie of the evening. We saw several others, but no bites. Tomorrow, I'll be focusing on the incredible smallmouth fishery in the lake. As I venture out alone, I was also to relearn some old tricks obtained from tournament bass anglers, so stay tuned. A big smallmouth kept coming out from under the dock, shadowing my fly, but never taking it. I kept changing flies, trying to find the right one that would trigger a take, but still nothing. I was truly frustrated. Then, my cameraman picked out this one fly known as the olive sparkle leech. I would never have chosen this, but I gave it a try anyways.
You don't know nothing, Jeremy. There he is. Got him. That is a big bass. All right. Whoa. I gotta tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that was a lot of work. I saw that fish 3 times and couldn't get him to come up and take it, and then I missed him. And then to give credit to my cameraman, I was looking at the flies, trying to decide what to come back with, and he picked the bright, flashy, and gaudy one. He said, that's the one you want. And you know something? It worked. Look at the size of that bass, folks. That's a big bass. Oh, look at the one behind him. It's as big as he is. Ho, 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 ho. This is why you come to Rice Lake. Oh, look at the size of the one right behind him. I hope the camera can see that. Look at that. It's as big as he is. Wow. And I got him. Look at that fish. Look at that bass. It's as long as my arm. It's huge. And look at that fly right in the top corner of the mouth. Isn't that beautiful? See the end there, 21 inches. That's a Rice Lake bass. All right, let me know. Okay. There it goes. And that is an old fish. I mean, when they get to that size, 20 inches and plus, they're well over 10 years old. And that's why you gotta treat them with kid gloves, because a fish like that, that's a female, gonna carry a lot of eggs whites, and it's why it's important to let them go. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show. You'll learn something about affordable and accessible fishing here at Rice Lake and here in the Kawarthas, Peterborough area. I wanna thank Susan and Randy for having me here to Sunrise Cove Cottages. I've had a great time, and you know, if you wanna catch big fish like that, you don't have to fly way up north. You don't have to go to other lands. You can catch them right here near the border. It's all within 2 hours. Thanks for watching today's show, and you can catch more of our information and stuff about our show on the web at www.thenewflyfisher.com.
The New Fly Fisher has been made possible thanks to the support of Peterborough and the Kawarthas Tourism. Ontario, yours to discover. Orvis Sporting Traditions. Islander Precision Reels. Scientific Anglers. Rail Riders Outdoor Clothing. Net Staff, the world's first wading staff and net. To learn more about the New Fly Fisher, our locations, contests, news, and much more, come visit and like us on Facebook.